Hello and welcome to the first episode of The High Techman. I am your High Techman. I am Ken Chan and I am the Linux noob. A couple of months ago I started using Linux and learning it, the basic layman's end of it. So let me show you my rig rather than going into all that. This is, let's start at the beginning actually. Up here coming in this is a Westell 6100F. That's nothing to write home about. It's your typical modem. This is a Netgear. Let's get Tomoko out of the way here. This is a Netgear WGR614. Okay, and again, nothing to write home about. It's your typical cheddar. Like this is like a $35 router. This is pretty cool. This is a WD MyCloud. This has 3 terabytes on it. And this is kind of like a server. The machines on the intranet here can all access this, along the intranet. But they can also, well, these can't, but unless I put the program on them. But I can also access this remotely from outside, from my phone or tablet even. Incidentally, I get about anywhere from 7.5 to 15 megabits down connection, maybe just under a full megabit up. So that's an interesting little tidbit about that. But then onto the Linux setup, and I'm not an engineer, I'm a layman. I'll preach to you about how awesome this is, but I won't exactly be able to tell you why. Okay, but here you go. So right here, this is Ubuntu, and I'm trying to focus in on this thing because this is Gigolo here, and this is indicative of a network. These machines are networked. This is a Acer Aspire T, AMD A10 quad core, elite quad core, whatever the hell, elite quad core here, baby. It's a quad core 3.69 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of onboard RAM, and 1 terabyte hard drive. And these two little things looks like a couple of, two sets of eyes staring at you there. One's just there to bridge some connections, but these are hard drives. One is 1.5 terabytes, one's 1 terabyte. They're Seagates. Those aren't networked. I'm not sure how to do that, but this is, I have files shared on here using Samba to create the shares, and they all actually use Samba. First, this computer here, this is one monitor, and this is the other monitor, and that brings me to one of the cool things about Ubuntu, which is what this is. That's the version of Linux that I'm using on actually these two computers I'm going to show you. But so far, this computer, this is Ubuntu here. You can use two different. This is 1504. You can have two different pictures on the screens. You don't have to have the same picture on both screens. So, and that's a neat little feature there. I really like it. Oh, this is also 64-bit, if that matters. And this is the 64-bit version of the Ubuntu 1504. So, but then this computer up here is an E-Machines with AMD Athlon 64 in it, and it's not 64-bit. It's just an AMD Athlon 64. It's a single core running at 1.6 gigahertz. And it's like an over-the-counter Walmart type machine, but it is running Ubuntu as well. This is 1404 on here. So we have these two screens, which are 1504, and this one that's running 14. Okay, and here we are in the other room, and we have Ubuntu again, running on this. This is an Acer Aspire 1. It's got a 1.6 gigahertz dual threading Intel Atom. Again, nothing to write home about, but Ubuntu and Lubuntu work well on this kind of thing. I'm not saying that you can sit there and watch your old Netflix on that now, but if you stream video over your home network, it connects and it works like a champ. Or music, like if you're streaming from one source, using whatever, it streams from something on your intranet quite nicely. I keep saying that like that because when people say that to me, I can never tell if somebody's saying internet or intranet. It gets hard, so I say that to make sure that. Okay, so I'm overcompensating, but so that's this one. It's running Ubuntu, and again, it has different screens. I think that's the greatest thing in the world. Now, the other thing about these three computers is all three of them have also been partitioned. So they all have a secondary, or a second, not secondary, it's not like one's primary, but they all have, other than Ubuntu, they all have another operating system. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, and by the way, this is also networked, and this is using Wi-Fi, and there you see Gigolo yet again. And we're having a good old time. And these things, the one thing I cannot do with the network here is upload. I can't push something onto another folder. I'm not sure how to do that. Doesn't matter really, because I can push to the My Cloud on this network. I can push anything onto that, and I can grab it from any other source. So not as efficient as I'd like it to be, but I'm not sure what to do about that. I've tried some things. I've seen some videos. I need to take a break from that. But anyway, let's look at these other OSs. Okay, back on the Acer Aspire. You'll notice that the screen is now the same screen on both. That's because I've rebooted. And we're going to start with this computer. And this is now Ubuntu that's running on here. And you'll see the telltale little design there. It tells you that's Ubuntu, all right. Now you'll notice also that this screen doesn't, see how this cuts off? That's like cut off from what this is. This is much like there's all this over here and all this over here. So, well, less over here, more over here than there is here. It's cut off, and the bottom, like going downwards, also there's like less at the bottom. So I found a real technical way to get rid of that, and it's that. And that's Ubuntu on the Acer Aspire 1. Not bad. Again, it's snappy. It does work well on this little computer. Okay, we're back to the E-machines. And we also have Ubuntu on here. Another winner. Again, it works well. This small hard drive is partitioned, and this works well as a second. Having two operating systems on there doesn't hurt. Some of them are buggy with certain things, and other ones run things better than others, and things like that. So it doesn't hurt to experiment. I mean, in my opinion, with different flavors of this. So far, these I've shown you I've tried. I've also tried Linux Mint, which is this here, and this computer. The Aspire T now is running. You see, it's the same screen on both screens now. Okay, and that's the way Mint is, and that's the way so far the ones that I've used have been that way, where they have the same screen. It was like that with Windows too, if I remember correctly. Here's another cool thing about this network. If I go onto my phone here, I'll just tell you this is a ZTE Max. This is what is this? It's a 5.7-inch screen, 720p. All right, but it's like not even a $200 phone, but it's awesome. I love it. Go into my network setting on my file manager here. And then these pop up, 05, 07, 014. And now these, never mind. And I can go into like 07 is this one here. This is 07. So, and then to my folder here, and then there's my crapulence. Like there's pictures and videos and crap music and that horse poop. But that's a cool thing. And then the MyCloud app, this is, is over here, and you can access the MyCloud. I can use it on here, over the phone, the 4G connection or the 3G connection or whatever, not necessarily Wi-Fi. And then these two tablets also, Chromebook. These are kind of like satellite things to the network, and PlayStations and Xboxes and Wii U and crap. But just basically at the core of it, though, is these computers. It's this Linux thing that's happening. Thanks for checking it out.
Hey there, everybody. This is Ken Chan. Don't forget to share and subscribe.